Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and today I'm going to be going through making an Excel sheet that will calculate your, your average, your gross pay and your net pay daily and calculate your check. So I have two, uh, a 2 week pay period. So I'm going to set it up for one. So to start off, we're going to put in the data we need. So the date, the day, so like it'll be Monday, Tuesday there. The shift start, the shift end, break, or we should probably change this to unpaid, break, hours worked, hourly rate, gross pay, then we want the Fed tax, social, Medicare, state tax, and then net pay. Then here I put average gross daily and average net daily. Okay, and I'm just going to go through on these ones that are a little bit longer. Double click here, there, there, and there. Okay. Then we enter in the dates. So for this week, for this paycheck, it'd be the 18th through the 29th. So what we're going to do is 9/18/2017. Then drag this down. Actually, it'd be the 30th, I think. Then you do like Monday. You should be able to just drag this down. Actually, want it to go down to Sunday. Okay. And then the way we're going to format the shift start is for time. So we're going to just input it so it says 0 to start off with. Just to make it look like there's some data in there. We're just going to should be able to just drag that down all the way. Okay, and then for unpaid breaks, we're going to enter it in like it's time as well for the way that I've set it up to do calculations. And just kind of ignore the fact that it says 12 a.m. up there. And then, so for hours worked, we're going to enter in a formula, which is essentially, it's just going to take these two and it's going to ignore this completely. So it's just going to be equal to C, actually no, it's going to be equal to D2 minus C2, just because D2 tends to be the larger number. For example, clock in at 2 o'clock, clock out at 9 o'clock, 7-hour shift, like so. We're going to drag this down, and it will bring the formula down all the way for the accurate data ranges. So if I put in, 2 o'clock to 7 o'clock here, it's going to calculate it accurately. Oh, what did I do there? There we go. Okay, then for hourly rate, you just, we're going to want this to be set to, to the dollar. We're going to drag that down all the way. Then here we want to put paycheck while I'm thinking about it. Okay, now gross pay. Now this is where it gets kind of tricky. Well, a little bit. It's easy to do. What you're going to do is you're going to put in, so it's equal to F2 times 24 subtract E2 times 24. Parenthesis close, and then we're going to times all of that by G2. Press enter. And then again, you just drag that formula down and it should change it. See, so it's saying F15 and then we're on line 15. Okay, now for federal tax, you'll have to look this up for your hourly rate. For my hourly rate, for my pay wage, you know, it's 10% of it. So they take 10% out in my taxes. Then for this, it's 6.2%. 6.2%. And again, you want to go online and look up federal tax for, you know, whatever you're getting paid by the year. They do it like by the year, I believe, if I remember right. And, you know, state tax, Utah, love it because it's nice and easy. Since I'm in Utah, it's a flat tax rate at 4.7%. And then net pay, what it's going to do is it's going to take H, so we want H2, and we want 2. How am I doing it over here? I don't remember. Checking my, yes. Sorry, I'm looking at the formula I have on another spreadsheet in a different book. Okay, that's right. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to do equals to H2 minus parentheses H2 times I2 minus H2 times J2 minus K2 times, or no, H2 times I2. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter what order you do it in. No, it's K2. What am I doing? Okay, subtract. And then H2 times L2. And then it will calculate your net. So, you know, if I clock in at 2 o'clock, then I clock out at 9 o'clock, 7-hour shift. And then once you put in your hourly rate, so, you know, say $8, which is within that tax bracket, then we'll calculate gross pay at $56 and net pay at $40. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to shift click all of these and drag it all the way down. And then again, it just, you know, brings everything else, like the formula, down. So you don't have to re-enter it and change all the data. Okay, and now what we're going to do here is right here, we're going to have it calculate, you know, your out. So this is your hours worked. So we're going to do, you have to put, you could average sum it, but it's inaccurate for the way I'm personally doing the hours worked. So what you have to do here is enter in like G2, or whoops, F2 times 24 plus F. You don't really need the parentheses either. I'm just doing it because it makes it look nice, which, you know, we'll just skip it. And you actually, whoops, we'll go up here to change it. So sorry, I'm moving from here to here, just so you know where I'm at. You also want to do it subtracting E2 times 24, just so it gets your breaks. And then minus E3 times 24. So what the times 24 is doing is it's just going to be it's just making it so that it's in a, you know, it's calculating it correctly. It's converting it from the hour to the, you know, to something we can work with. It's not really doing much else, because you can't calculate your pay rate otherwise in the way that I'm doing it. I'm sure there's better ways to do it, but this is the way I am working with data, and that's the way I'm gonna, you know, just show you guys how to set this up. And if you want to skip all of this tedious inputting of data, I do have a copy of the finished product in the description below if you want to just grab that, because it is pretty tedious. This would be the third time I've done it, because I've made a clean copy. I made the original copy for myself, and then I made a copy for some people at work. Okay, and this is going to be 15. And this is 14. Alright, and then you just press enter and get out of that. And that's like the only hand typed thing you have to do, thankfully. Then what we're going to do here is we can actually do the auto sum, which we can just click here, press enter. And then right here, what I like doing is calculating how much money is taken out of your checks, you know, how much tax is taken out. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do H16 times I15, enter. And then drag it across. We're going to change this though. So it's there. Drag, whoop. And then the same thing here. And then right here, I'm going to put total taken, or total taxes. And we're just going to actually auto sum it and drag this data down, just put it like that. And then, you know, auto sum that, oops, press enter to get out. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it so that this is for calculation, just so you know you can tell what's being calculated. Then for average gross daily, you can do G2 equals to G2 colon through G15, and that will just give you, you know, like an approximate value. Oh, it's an auto sum, so we can just actually do auto sum and then change it in here, G2 through G15, enter. We can drag that over to here, and we're going to move, oh, we're going to move our little box right there. And then going to change this just so it looks a little different than that, and we're going to set it to check cell. There you go. Oh, wonder what's going on. So then as you enter in things, it will calculate it. Oh, we actually want it equal to the average. Sorry. And that's supposed to be there. Enter. There you go. And it's going to be a little inaccurate, but you can set it so that it's, you know, just at H2, and then you could enter in like, you know, H13 and whatnot like that. You can also do like H13 colon through H15 like that. which I don't know why it's saying that's $15. Oh, yeah, that's right, because it's less data to work with. And then that way, you know, when you enter in your shift, so to 3 o'clock per se, that's a short shift, but, you know, just putting in some data so you can see what it will do. And we need to drag this down too, now that I think about it. And you see how it's changing the data there. And, you know, 4 o'clock to 10 o'clock. So that's what it will do there. And you can do the same thing here, you know. So just comma M15. Yep. And that's it for today's tutorial, is just setting up this sheet. And one last thing that I like to do is you can name the sheets, you know. So I named them to like the payday. So my payday for this would be, I'm going to check the calendar real fast, would be the 6th, right? So what I'll name it to is 10-6-2017, enter. And then if you want to add another one, you go over here and copy this, so Control C, and then you Control V it in here. And, you know, it doesn't copy the formatting or anything, but, you know, you can just change it to what you need. And yeah, so that's the tutorial on how to set this up. And, you know, check the link in the description below for both a playlist for the other tutorials that I'll be doing, and also for the download link for this document. Anyways, thanks for watching and sticking through this tutorial. You know, if you liked it, like it. If you didn't, don't. Whatever. See you in the next tutorial, or the next video that I do. Bye-bye now.